Microphone is speeding, camera is rolling. Let's get into it. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to get more sales for your digital product business. Because I imagine a lot of you are already making content. Some of you probably already have your own digital products, but you're struggling to get enough sales in the door to make it your full-time thing. So in today's video, I want to share with you some of the systems that I use and my clients use to bring consistent revenue in the door each and every month without having to change too much about the way that you're already making content. And if you're new here and you're wondering who I am and why you should listen to me, my name's Tom Noske. I'm a content creator, and over the last 2 years, I've taken my content business and my online business, or my digital product business specifically, from struggling to get enough sales in the door to make this my full-time income and quit freelancing so I could do this full-time, to now where we have a launch-based business that launches 3 to 4 times per year, and each launch exceeds $200,000 to $300,000 US per launch. So I know what I'm doing. And I've seen these systems work for both myself and my clients. So hopefully today I'll share them with you and you can use them in your own business. Now, before we get into any of this, the first thing you need to do is diagnose the problem that you actually have. I was working with a client of mine this morning, which is why I wanted to make this video. And we realized that we'd just worked on creating a new offer for his business. And that has been the main focus of the last few weeks. And last week was the first week of properly selling that offer. And we came in today, we started to work on the marketing material, and he was a little bit concerned. He came in with the concern that he wasn't getting as many sales as he would have liked. For the first weekend, we didn't really have a big launch strategy. This is more of an evergreen product that we wanted to put out and then hopefully build the sales over time so it can act as more of a recurring revenue model for him and his business at the moment. And he was concerned because he wasn't making as many sales as he wanted. In the first week, I think he's gotten 2 or 3 sales a day, which, still nothing to scoff at. The program's not cheap. It's pretty good in my opinion. But when we dug into the numbers and when we started to look at how things were actually going, we began to realize that he had only gotten 350 page visits in the entire first week that this product was available. So he didn't actually have a problem of the offer or the product or the headline or the VSL. The problem wasn't in that. His problem is that he's not getting enough traffic on the page to get the number of sales that he wants. So many of the content creators I work with don't have an offer problem, they have a traffic problem. So the first step you want to do is to diagnose the problem that you have. So step 1, diagnose your problem. And to do this, you want to look at 2 things. The first is your conversion rates. Now, to find your conversion rates, if you're using something like Gumroad or Shopify, that'll be on your analytics panel that you can use. If you're using more of a custom-built landing page funnel into something like Stripe, you're going to have to build your own way of tracking conversions. If you're using Card to build your landing page or Webflow to build your landing page, you're going to have to use something like Google Analytics. For my core program, we built our landing page on Webflow and we use Google Analytics to track conversion rates. It's a little bit more of a workaround, but I would highly recommend, if you want to take this seriously, you need to be tracking conversion rates. You need some way to see how your products are converting for every single person who lands on the page. It's the bare minimum if you actually want to improve this, because you need to know that number, because from that number, you can then make a decision on what needs to improve. If your conversion rates are high, but your page visits are low, then you don't have an offer problem. You don't have a product problem. You've got a traffic problem. Not enough people are coming to the page. And that's a very different problem from I need to improve the offer, or I need to improve the VSL, or I need to improve the landing page. If you're only getting 1,000 page visits a month, there's no way you're going to make enough money from the people that are landing on the page, because you simply don't have enough people landing on the page. So keep that in mind. If you don't have any way of tracking conversion rates, make sure you find a way to do that. And the second thing I want you to do is to track page visits. Now, to diagnose your problem, if you have an offer problem equals low conversion rates. And by low conversion rates, I'm really meaning like anything between 0.5% to 1.5% is a problem. If you're sitting under 2% conversion rates, there is more to be improved. And that might mean, it might not necessarily mean the product is bad. It might just mean that your headline is bad, or your VSL is bad, or you don't have a VSL, or you don't have enough CTAs on the landing page, or the flow of the landing page is bad, or the sales copy is bad, or you have some spelling mistakes and grammatical errors in the landing pages that are steering people away. Or your loading time is bad. Sometimes checking the loading speed of your landing page is a really easy way to increase conversion rates, because for every person who visits the page, depending on how long it takes for the page to actually load, might determine their ability to even get to the bottom of the page where they're supposed to buy. So keep that in mind. It might not necessarily be that your offer is bad or your product is bad. It might just be that your landing page is not optimized for conversion rates. But if you do have a conversion rate of less than 1%, like 0.5%, it might be a disconnect between you and your audience. You might not have a product that is in alignment with your audience. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean that the product itself is bad. It means that you haven't made a product that is in line or positioned for your audience. In a really simple way of describing this, I see a lot of creators, make content that is targeted towards beginners, but then they release a product that is targeted towards people on the same level as them. And they wonder why no one buys it, when in reality, beginners don't have the money to invest in a product that is more advanced, nor the interest or the passion or the desire or the business to invest in something that's more advanced. So you need to understand that your product and your content need to be in alignment for the product that you're making. Otherwise, there's going to be a disconnect between the people that are even landing on your page to the people that are going to buy it. So keep that in mind. There's a few different things. I'm not going to go too deep into offers today because we're going to talk about how to increase traffic. But keep that in mind. You might have an offer problem if your conversion rates are low. And if you have a traffic problem, that's pretty self-explanatory. A traffic problem is diagnosed by a 2 to 3% conversion rate, but low page visits. So that's where most of you are going to fall. Most of you probably have good organic content, you have good product alignment, you've positioned yourself well, you've got a product that people actually want if you've asked your audience, hopefully. So now it's just a problem of getting more people to click on the page. So how do we do that? How do we get more people to visit our page? There's two key ways that you're going to do this. Stage one, and the reason why I'm going to start with stage one, is direct promotion. So stage one, direct promotion. Now, direct promotion, or why I'm calling this stage one, is because to implement this, you don't have to change anything about the way you're currently making content. You don't have to add anything new. You don't have to build a new funnel. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is increase the thermostat of your marketing. I like to describe it for my clients and my students is all you're doing is increasing the thermostat of everything that you're doing. You're increasing the amount of marketing you're doing. And so increasing the temperature of your entire marketing funnel. You're getting more people to click on links, more people to visit pages, more people to convert. And over time, this is just going to create an ecosystem that drives a lot more traffic to the places that you want to drive them to. So to do this, the first and most obvious one is just create more CTAs. Or more calls to action. You basically want to remind people that you sell something. The most important thing with sales, or at least I've found for selling digital products, is no one knows you sell anything if no one knows you sell anything. If you don't tell anyone that there's something for sale and then show them how to buy it, you can't expect them to read your mind. No one's going to your page and going like, oh yeah, of course he has this linked in his bio, and if I need to buy at any point, I can click this, and then this piece of content that's pinned on his profile is driving me towards this offer. No one knows that shit. You need to tell them. So keep that in mind. If you just make more calls to action, if you increase the amount of times that someone's put in front of an opportunity to buy, they will often buy more consistently and more often. So to do this, This is as simple as using a platform like ManyChat, where you just have a verbal CTA in the video to comment a certain word, or an end-roll CTA in the video to, again, comment a certain word, a caption CTA, so have in the top line or the bottom line of the caption, have in the comment section, I've seen, like, comment on your own video, pin that comment, and then have that drive people to a certain place or to comment a certain thing, and then just every day in your stories or every so often in your stories, drive people to comment a certain word, drive people to a certain link, drive people to visit the link in your bio, whatever you need to do for whichever platform you want to use. I don't necessarily think you need to use DM automation, but I've just found DM automation to be incredibly successful compared to visit the link in my bio. But the general rule of thumb is increase the amount of CTAs you're giving out, or increase the amount of CTAs you're making or encouraging people to make on a weekly basis. The second one is, again, really obvious, but just make more content. I know this is like, no shit, dude, but I mean for the underlying effect of having more in-between moments where you can promote a product. I think there's a big issue if you're only posting 4, 5, 6 times a week and not really posting on your stories and not doing long-form content. That doesn't really leave a lot of opportunity to promote a product directly, because people are going to get sick of it if you promote your products every single time you post. So if you're only posting 4 to 5 times a week, that only leaves you with 1, 2, maybe 3 opportunities to sell. But if you're suddenly posting 10, 14, 20 times a week, plus 4 to 5 stories a day, that is an enormous amount of opportunity to both give free value, like nurture your audience, and then also sell directly in between. So keep that in mind. If you just make more content, you're probably going to have more opportunity to sell. Step number 3, is to send more emails. Now, I encourage every content creator to have at least one newsletter and one sales email per week. One email or one newsletter, one branded newsletter, one thing that you're sending out every single week, and then one sales email every single week. This is a good rule of thumb and something you can use to get more sales. If you can get in the routine of doing that, every single newsletter is going to have a section at the bottom of the email that's here's what you can buy from me, or here's how we can work together. And then every sales email, just get creative with it. Once a week, sit down and go, how can I convince people to buy into my program? Whether that be a value-based email that has a strong segue into the sell, whether that be a sales email that's just a creative ad for what you're selling, whether that be an email with a really strong hook that then drives people to be interested in the sale. I wrote an email a little while back where I talked about the idea of customer success and how customer success is the number one driver of the success of my business, because as my students achieve better results, they then go and talk to their friends about how they achieve results. And then my program grows based on both the referrals and then also the intrigue that I create from the student results that I share with my audience. So I shared that idea of student success and how that drives the success of my business, and then segued really nicely into, I want my students to succeed selfishly, so please buy into my program, and then you'll achieve those results and I'll achieve my results, and it'll be a win-win for both of us. It was a really strong email. It converted super well. So once a week, just sit down and get creative with how you're promoting yourself. Number 4 is to create more ads. Again, it's super obvious, but so few people do it. Like, so few content creators sit down and make a piece of content that is promoting their own stuff. Like, all of us, whenever we get sponsorship requests, I don't really do any sponsors anymore, but most content creators get a sponsorship request and then bend over backwards promoting that product. But when it comes to promoting their own products, they might include an end roll CTA or a hidden away comment CTA or a caption CTA, but they never actually make a dedicated ad for their product. Try to imagine that your content or your own products, are the sponsor for your own page. They're how you're getting paid. So rather than promoting someone else's product, promote your own product, and guess what? You get to take home 100% of the profits. You don't have to split the profit with some company that doesn't give a fuck about you. Promote your own shit. And then the last one, again, really obvious, but post more stories. Now, what does this result in? How can this actually help your business? Before we get into stage 2, which I think a lot of you are going to find really, really valuable because it'll be different to what you might expect me to say. What can you expect from this? If you have let's say you've got a $799 core program, an online course, a cohort, a coaching offer, whatever it is, community. And for communities, I just take the price per month, times it by 12, yearly price. That's kind of the price of the program compared to like something like an online course or a cohort. You need to think about it yearly, and then the yearly LTV of your customers buying into a community. That's kind of my impression for how I would judge the price of a community. But let's say for a $799 core offer. Let's say if you've got a healthy account, which I imagine a lot of you do, and let's say you get 200,000 content impressions per month. 200,000 impressions per month. If you can just get in the routine of doing this shit more often, making more CTAs, posting more content, making more ads, sending more emails, and get in the rhythm of doing something every single day, promoting an offer every single day. Let's say you convert 1% of your total impressions into a page visit. So not even converting into the offer. I know a lot of fucking bullshitters that are in my DMs will say, dude, you could convert 1% of your followers. That's a lie. You're not going to convert 1% of your followers. But let's say you convert 1% of your monthly impressions into page visits. So 1% of 200,000 is 2,000 people. And from those 2,000 people, because you've got a good conversion rate, you convert at 3%. Conversion rate. Of page visits, PVs. You've just made yourself $47,940 per month. If you're doing this monthly. 47,000. What was that? 47,940 per month in revenue. Which is nothing to scoff at. But all you've really done is you're still making the same content, you're still sharing the same stuff, you've still got the same audience, but all you're doing is increasing the thermostat of your marketing, raising the temperature of everything that you're doing to get more people clicking on links. Now, what is stage 2? Stage 2 is what I call tripwire promotion. Now, these work for an opposing reason to why direct promotions work. I find that there is two groups in your audience. There are the diehard fans, and then there are the skeptics. And the diehards are the people that are going to buy. You could sell bottled water to these people. You could create a landing page. There's nothing but a black screen with a button in the middle that says buy now. And these people are probably going to buy. Those are the people that you're going to convert the most with direct promotion, because they're just interested in your content. You've converted them, you've nurtured them through your organic content, the value you're giving, the content you're providing, the story you tell about yourself. And now when you go to sell, hopefully those people are interested and ready to buy. It doesn't really matter what you do. Then you've got a whole nother group of people, and these are the skeptics. And these are the people in your audience that you need a little bit more convincing to get over the line. And I find the best way to do this is with tripwire promotions. You need to trick them into landing on the page so then you can convert them after the fact. You can't just send them to the landing page. They don't want your product yet. You need to give them a reason to visit something else so then you can sell to them and nurture them over time. So to do this, there are a few things I would recommend. Number one is something I'm planning on doing in the future now that I've started YouTube again, but this is the YouTube VSL strategy. This is where you create a VSL for your product, and a VSL is just a video sales letter. In really simple terms, it's a video that promotes your product, plain and simple. It's a sales letter or your sales copy for your landing page in video form. The reason why this works is because most of us content creators are used to, or your audiences are used to seeing us on video. So if you have a written sales page, it's going to convert way worse than if you actually just take that same sales page and read it to camera. So what you do with this strategy is you create your VSL, you post it on YouTube as an unlisted video, and then you include it in the top line of the description of every single YouTube video you make. And then you also include it as a free lead magnet for your products on Instagram. So on Instagram, include a CTA to get access to the free training or whatever you want to do. And that link takes you directly to the VSL on YouTube. And that VSL then sells into the program. So if you can do this, if you can start to post weekly on YouTube, and then every single video in the end roll where that's got the little pop-up that promotes another video, and then in the description of that video, if you can be promoting this VSL every single time you post a video, plus weekly promotions of this as a lead magnet on Instagram, you can have 1,000, 2,000 people watching this video per week that are then going to be converted into your product. Number 2 is an email course. Now, an email course is where you create an automated sequence of emails, and each email I want you to imagine is like a lesson in a course. So over a 15-day period, 20-day, 30-day, 40-day period, you're sending daily emails that are parts of an entire course that you're teaching. You could teach someone how to make better content, how to make sales, how to build a course, how to sell digital products. Whatever you want to teach, you teach it in your email and teach each lesson daily for a certain period of time. The reason why this is so fucking brilliant is because it both acts as a lead magnet because it's free. So you can promote it and be like, sign up for 30 days of tips on X subject. But it also nurtures your audience as you go. Because one of the biggest downfalls of creators I've worked with in the past is they have a strong email list in terms of numbers, but they have a terrible email list in terms of open rates because they've not actually nurtured those people. Whereas if your lead magnet automatically is a multi-day automated sequence, then by the time they finish that sequence, they're going to be convinced and ready to buy into basically anything else that you sell. So if you do a 15-day email course where each day is a lesson in this course, you can then have 3 to 4 emails at the end of that are selling your program, and you'll have an incredible conversion rate of people that do the entire email course and then convert into your offer. So second is an email course. And I would aim to have this be 15 days plus. Really, I think anything less than 15 days, and it's not going to be super compelling. I think it's a really good offer to be like, sign up to my, drop your email address here and I'll give you 15 days of free value based on whatever topic. Really good offer. Number 3 is the lead magnet funnel. Now, the reason why the lead magnet funnel works is not actually because of the lead magnet. It's not from the value you're providing in the lead magnet. It's from the email sequence you're going to throw them into after they've signed up for the lead magnet. So for every single lead magnet that you have, I want you to create a 4 to 6 email sequence that gets sent to every single person who downloads that lead magnet. So a unique email sequence for every single lead magnet. You can have 5, 6, 7 lead magnets, and each of those lead magnets has an email sequence that automatically gets sent out. Now, the beautiful thing is you can use the first 3 emails of that sequence. Let's say you've got a 6 email sequence. You can use the first 3 to 4 to just be value-based. Give more value. If your lead magnet helps people with their daily plan, make more emails or provide more value in the emails about daily planning and how you can be more productive and whatever you want to do. But as soon as you get to day 5, 6, 7 of that sequence, go into the sale. Start to sell people on the program you want to teach. Have a value-based email that segues into a sale, and then the next email, have a really strong sale to your program. If you've got, let's say again, you've got 500 to 1,000 people per week downloading your free lead magnets. If all of those people were receiving an automated sequence of sales emails, how would that convert into sales for your program? How would that change your business if you've got X amount of automated emails being sent out per week to every single person who downloads a lead magnet? How much better would your business run if that were the case? And the final one I want you to use is free workshops or webinars. Now, these are less consistent. Don't do these ones as much. I don't think they're as necessary, but they can be a massive boost in email subscribers. I find every single time I do a free workshop, I end up gaining 2,500 to 3,000 unique email addresses, which is an incredibly powerful way to grow your email list. So keep that in mind. And then you can also, from those free workshops, after the workshop has happened, have a post-workshop email sequence that is automatically sent out to everyone who joined. And in that sequence, again, you can sell to these people. Now, how does this translate for the same offer we talked about before? Let's say again, you've got yourself a $799 core offer. And let's say, because the beautiful thing about lead magnets is they don't decrease the equity of your brand. You don't lose goodwill with your audience when you promote a free lead magnet. It just doesn't happen. People don't mind if you're promoting something for free. So let's say multiple times a day, you're choosing one of these strategies to use, whether it be one day you're using the VSL on YouTube, the next day you're using a lead magnet, the next day you're promoting a free workshop, and then you're promoting an email course, and then you're sending an email sequence, and you're doing this every single day. Let's say per month, you can convert 2,000 emails, which is very, very conservative. I think everyone watching this video right now can gain 2,000 email addresses a month. But let's say conservatively, you gain 2,000 email addresses per month. And from those 2,000 emails, you convert at 5% of the people who read those. So let's even account for a decrease in readers. Let's say of those 2,000 emails, you have a 500 email churn, 500 email drop off. So you've got 1,500 readers. And let's say you convert 5% of readers of your email sequences that get sent out automatically after someone downloads or accesses one of these Tripwire promotions. If you convert 1,500 readers at 5%, even with the drop off, you've made yourself an extra just shy of $60,000 per month. Now, the reason why I've got these two options is because I think the more that you can push towards having your social media strategy be all about lead magnets and increasing leads, the more equity you're gonna have with your audience, because everything that you're giving out in your top of funnel is free. So people don't feel like you're forcing something down their throats. They don't feel like you're overly salesy. They don't feel like there's some weird business-only connection with you as an audience member. They actually trust you as a person because you're providing good value, and then make all of your sales process happen at the layer below your top of funnel. So the layer below content, all of your sales are happening in email. The more that you can get towards that strategy, the more effective your social media strategy is actually going to be, because it's much easier to convert people into a lead magnet than it is to convert people into a direct promotion. It is much easier to use your social media to just nurture your audience, provide value, build a connection, be relatable, tell a story, and then convert people into lead magnets at the layer beneath, and then do all of your sales process via email. I think that's the best strategy long term. I've started using this a year ago, and it has translated into launches where we now, without even really going too crazy on social media or on Instagram directly, we do over $300,000 per launch. So this strategy does work, and you can use it, and it's much more effective for the same amount of effort. Once you've got this all up and running, you can make more money by being less salesy. It's insane. If this sounds like a lot, if this sounds like way too much and you're like, I just want to sell more of my products, I don't want to do all this. I need to be honest with you for a second. What are you doing? Like, how much do you actually want to achieve this goal? Do you want to make enough money that you just never have to get a job again? Do you want this to be your full-time thing? Do you want to sell enough of your products that you can build a life for yourself that you've only dreamt of having? Like, what do you want to do? If this seems like too much work, if all of this seems like way too much work, what are we doing here? What, did you expect this to be easy? Please, if you really want to sell more of your products, understand, yes, there are some tricks you can do. Yes, these systems will work. Yes, direct promotion and Tripwire promotions will help you achieve that. But it's not going to be easy. That's all from me today. I just wanted to share this system because I had a coaching call this morning. It was top of mind. I thought it'd be valuable for you guys to see it. I hope you guys found this valuable, and I'll see you on the next one.